Good evening, everybody. I think we are starting. I'm Inge van Lottringen. I am a contributing editor on Get the Gloss. Nice to see you all here. Good evening. This is a Get the Gloss masterclass. Welcome. Tonight's one is all about how to get the most from your collagen supplements. As a beauty journalist, do collagen supplements work is probably the question I get the most lately, I would say in the past year or so. Oh, I hear a little noise. Just as some housekeeping, it's lovely to see you all here. Turn your camera off, turn it on, we don't care, but do turn your mics off because otherwise it might get a little bit rowdy in the back. But welcome. So how to get the most of your collagen supplements. It's something a lot of people seem to be obsessed with these days. So we thought we'd do a masterclass with the master of collagen supplements, I might say. Not all collagen supplements are the same. And tonight we have a man who can answer whether collagen supplements work or not. Not only that, he can also tell you how to get the most of these particular supplements. Because like I said, they are not all the same. Oh, I still hear a few noises, but I'll just keep talking. The man I'm going to introduce a little bit later on is Pupinder Ghatora. He is a pharmacist and he's also one of the men who designed Ingenious collagen supplements. It's a range of collagen supplements that is award-winning and has a bit of a point of difference, which you will find out about. Now, talk to you about turning your mic off. You've done that already. That's really good. Some more housekeeping. If this is your first masterclass, we do these pretty much every week, and it really is your chance to meet basically the biggest names in skincare. You've got doctors, you've got skincare experts, you've got wellness experts, all that kind of stuff. And you can talk to them directly in these masterclasses. So they're really worth checking out whenever you have a little bit of time. We love this stuff to be really, really interactive. So just fire all your questions at us and we'll feed them through along the way. And you can get some real kind of one-to-one information from our experts, Pupinder in this case. This is also your chance always to get your hands on some exclusive offers, and tonight's one is pretty good. You can get 30% off a 60-day supply of Ingenious collagen supplements. It's easy peasy. You just have to go to their website, which is feelingingenious.com. We'll put this in the comments in the chat as well, and you can use the code Get the Gloss 30. It's one word, Get the Gloss 30, to get your 30% off when you order these supplements, and it's valid for a month until the 14th of July. Is it a 14th? Yes, it's a month. Yes. Before I bring in Pupinder, well, maybe I've told you everything I need to tell you. Yeah, once again, I'll relay all your questions. So if it takes a minute, don't worry. I see them all and I will pass them all on. And don't worry if you miss anything, because after this class, you'll get an email with a recording of the show, and you can review at your leisure and get all the information you need. Now, let's get to what you're here for. Mr. Pupinder Ghatora. He
Hi.
is, hello, Pupinder, how are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm looking at a green garden and some sunshine. I've just realized that my mom has forgotten to turn the garden spray off, so that's going to be quite wet out there. But anyway, that's fine. Now, Pupinder, award-winning pharmacist. He knows, and I think I can say this, he knows firsthand what collagen supplements can do, because a prototype of the supplement that he was designing at the time that became Ingenious supplements, he credits it for recovering from some quite heavy surgery that he had on a nerve issue in his shoulder. He actually had, it was spinal surgery, wasn't it?
It was actually, yes. I had a, shall I go through and explain what happened?
Yeah, please tell.
So this was, gosh, many years ago now, probably about 10 or so, 9 or 10 years ago. Again, please remember, we've been researching this product and collagen for about 20 years now, David and myself.
Yeah.
So I ended up having a crushed disc due to weight training and martial arts and stuff. And the disc had splurged out. I'd had muscle wastage on top of my chest and my tricep had almost disappeared.
Yeah.
And if it didn't get treated and what have you, I would have ended up losing the use of my right arm, which would have been devastating.
Jesus.
So I ended up having an operation where I had a little cut here. A disc was removed from my neck.
Uh-huh.
A bit of plastic with 2 titanium spikes was put in.
Okay.
And the 2 bones then fused together. So I had an appointment after this surgery, and my surgeon was just incredible. 6 weeks later to see how I was getting on.
Yeah.
And by this time I was taking masses of our product, probably about 12 capsules a day or something crazy.
How many?
12, I think it was back then.
That's quadruple dosing.
Quadruple dose.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not suggesting anyone does that. So please, this is just what I went through.
Right.
So I took the product and they did an X-ray on the vertebrae. And the surgeon said, "When did we do your surgery?" And I said, "It was about 6 weeks." He says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, about 6 weeks." And he says, "It looks like your bones have been fusing for a couple of months." I didn't say anything. I wasn't going to mention what I was doing or taking, because 9 times out of 10, if you mention anything to do with a supplement, it gets poo-pooed by a doctor.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother saying, but I knew that must have made a difference to the healing.
Okay.
However, we don't make any medical claims. That was just
just
to tell you that, this is how it all began.
Yeah.
And then 5 years ago, we launched Ingenious, looking closely just at the skin space. And we came up with Ingenious Beauty. And as you know, award-winning, the only clinically proven one out there. Proven.
Yeah.
And patented. So, no one can copy our tech.
Can we, straight off the bat, because I asked you this question before, a lot of collagen brands claim to have clinical proof. Can you explain how that exactly works? How can that be?
Yeah.
When we're the only clinically proven
We're
one?
the only, absolutely. So, and every other brand that I've come across in this space, and we research all the time, they say that they have clinical studies.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have clinical studies, but it's not on their product. What they've done, they've gathered the information from their active ingredient supplier, which we could also do. We could add that to our list of clinical trials. And they're referring back to these trials as evidence for their product.
Right.
So the active ingredient, in this case, collagen, most of the studies done are using 10 grams of collagen.
Which is a lot.
Which is a massive dose. And that could be in powder format. So once you've got 10 grams or 5 grams or 8 grams or whichever these brands are doing nowadays, once you put that in a chemical medium to make it a liquid, you have no idea how that collagen active ingredient is going to behave. It's the same with pharmaceuticals. You don't know how an active ingredient will behave until you've put it in a mix. That's why they spend so long and it takes so much time to release any drug.
Right.
So other brands are using active ingredient supplier data, which can be completely different to what they're actually producing. Right. So the data will be on a powder. They've produced a liquid and they've said, well, I'm using the same active ingredient, therefore the same thing's going to happen with my mix.
Well,
very
to kind of put it in a very short way, your supplement actually has a double-blind, placebo-controlled, has all the hallmarks of a proper clinical study that that science requires to have.
It's actually done on our product, so it's not done on our product. So it's on our mix. And that's done independently. So we had no say. That the numbers are the numbers. You can't mess around with them. And the results, I don't know if you want me to share that now or later on?
Well, you've got your presentation ready, so let me not break into that, and let me just go and start your presentation, and we'll just jump in, you know, if I have any questions, which I always do.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So, I mean, Ingenious, where, you know, the sort of game changer in this space, which I think is what you referred to us as, Inga, many moons ago. And another interesting thing is collagen burn. So a lot of people don't realize your levels of collagen aren't sort of declining as such. It's the rate at which you're using the collagen. And also, as you age, the efficiency of you being able to produce collagen, that changes.
Yeah.
So, Philly, we can go next. So, I mean, just a quick rundown here. I mean, collagen is the most abundant protein in your body. It's the building block of you. You know, it's what your skin's made up, your hair's made up, everything. You'll find it on your teeth, everywhere. So it's very important that you try and keep those levels up. Yeah, ready for the next. So from the age of 25, you're going to be losing, and I inverted commas, losing collagen at a rate of about 1.5% per year. So by the time you're 45, that's me almost, over a quarter of your collagen has disappeared. The other thing is when you hit the menopause, because you have a reduction in estrogen and progesterone, those levels reduce even further. And they've also found a link between collagen levels and pelvic floor, which is quite interesting. And we're looking into something about that.
I don't know anything about that. Sorry, I'm just interfering.
No, that's fine. And that was just a tangent that just came up.
Okay.
Yeah, ready for next. So, I mean, the common signs of collagen loss, so the development of fine lines, the unhealthier hair, nails become very brittle, and the joints stiffen up. So this is interesting. So the causes of what we call collagen burn. So if you imagine you're making collagen and collagen's being destroyed all the time, and the rate of destruction, if it outnumbers the rate of you producing it, you're going to see a decline. That's how it works. It's a cyclical thing. And again, these are your classics. So lack of sleep, stress, menopause, UV, intense exercise. Now this one's interesting because your muscles, bones, joint space do contain so much collagen. Exercising is good for you, 100%. You must exercise. But you need to bear in mind that you are going to be using a lot more collagen because your muscles will be breaking down and rebuilding. The bones will be, getting the impact. And that does mean you do use more collagen. It's just a fact.
Okay.
Pregnancy, surgery, definitely, because again, that's an increased stress. High alcohol and sugar. Again, this is the sugar glycation and what have you, where your collagen matrix becomes very stiff and can break because you're having too much sugar. And the alcohol, dehydration, classic.
Can I ask a question here? So this is collagen burn. Is it fair to say that throughout your life you have collagen loss, but that's something different from collagen burn? Collagen burn, like you say, is when it's at an increased rate and you're losing more than you're making.
Yeah. I mean, that's the term that we use. We use collagen burn as Ingenious. Collagen loss happens. From 25, you are going to be losing collagen, but that's because you're less efficient at making it after the age of 25.
Okay. Yeah. And I was going to ask a really intelligent question there, but I've just lost it because I'm reading lots of interesting questions as I go. Right. Yeah, this is actually off on a tangent, so I'll come back to that.
Come back to it. Yeah, no problem.
You continue. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're ready for the next one, Philly. Thank you.
Right.
So lack of sleep. I mean, everyone's been through this. You don't sleep enough, your cortisol levels go up, stress hormone goes up. You're not going to be as efficient as you normally are in all your bodily functions. Hence, your collagen levels will reduce. So, beauty sleep is a thing. We need that rest. We need that recuperation. It's very important.
Is this stress hormone cortisol, is it literally attacking your collagen directly? Would you say?
No, it's because your body is in a stressed state. So it's not the case that the cortisol is actively going and seeking and breaking down the collagen, not at all.
It feels sometimes.
It may feel that way sometimes, but it's just because you're in that stress state and your body just cannot function efficiently.
Right. Fair enough. Yep.
So stress, I think we've covered, the stresses.
Yeah.
So menopause, again, so if you have a reduction in estrogen and progesterone, both of them, in fact, it means that the cells that produce collagen, you don't have as many. So the levels drop pretty fast. And what we found is that HRT complemented with Ingenious makes a massive difference to how our clients feel and look, to be honest.
Interesting. And can you then, obviously at that point, you cannot quite say how much that is the HRT and how much it is Ingenious, but is there a way to quantify that, or maybe in the future?
You can, because most clients come on with us with HRT to begin with. So they're at a certain level.
All right.
And after taking our supplement for minimum 3 months, you'll see on our Trustpilot and what have you, the reviews and what they say. And the interesting thing is they do mention HRT in a lot of those. So you can benchmark it.
Okay, very good. Big deal.
UV exposure, again, this increases the amount of free radicals that are floating around your skin. So I'll give a quick rundown on what happens. So with the skin, you've got rapidly dividing cells. When these cells divide, you have chemical reactions going on. A byproduct of this chemical reaction is something called an oxygen-free radical, and it just happens. It happens with most cells when they reproduce. However, your body's quite clever, and you've got antioxidants that mop these up very quickly. However, if you don't mop them up quickly, they can then mutate the DNA of the new healthy cells that are being produced, and you get an inferior quality of cell being produced, hence the skin not looking as good as it should.
Right.
Which is why we've not just got collagen in our product, we've also got astaxanthin, which is like vitamin C on steroids. So it's 6,000 times more potent at mopping up these free radicals than vitamin C.
Would you say in a good collagen supplement, there's always some high level of antioxidants and kind of cofactors, as we might call it, collagen boosting agents? Is that necessary, or can you just take collagen supplements or a good collagen supplement?
In my view, no. Just taking collagen alone, is it enough? In my view, no. Because you need antioxidants, and you also need the hyaluronic, because that helps to, if you imagine the collagen being like a mesh like this, in between that mesh you want the hyaluronic, and that causes the plumping effect. So those three things you need, and we have. It's not just collagen, definitely not.
All right.
So again, we were talking about the collagen burn. So this is more our sort of term. This is when you're exercising intensely. It could be high intensity cardio, weight training, this sort of thing. Yoga less so, because you're not putting as much impact. But again, when you're stretching the joint, you still will be, burning up collagen. Pilates and stuff like that as well. And again, it's not because you're doing damage or what have you. You're just using more collagen because you have this cycle going on. The joint space is being replenished, the muscles are being replenished, so the cells are breaking down and rebuilding. However, if you're training a lot, you're going to be breaking down more cells than you're making, so you need to try and get those levels up somehow.
There's a question here that relates to this from Jordan Kelly. She says, I'm 42 now. Can you double dose? So here's somebody double dosing already. That's very good, because I think we'll talk about that later. Can you double dose on Ingenious collagen, or is it not necessary? As well as taking Ingenious collagen capsules, I do a lot of activity, strength training, boxing. Will it benefit taking bovine or marine? Oh, there's a lot of questions here. I'll get through all of them, but somebody who does a lot of activity, you know, on a daily basis, is that a good candidate at 42 for double dosing?
For double dosing, yeah. I mean, well, we as a company look at these on an individual basis.
Right.
So I'd be
maybe we should first explain, because we're getting maybe a bit of ahead of ourselves, but what double dosing is, because you advise, I mean, Ingenious is 3 capsules a day, right?
Absolutely right, yeah.
And in these times of high burn, like, you know, menopause, or, you know, surgery, all these things you just explained, you say it's a good idea to double dose for something like 2 months, because you need such a boost to fight that tide of collagen loss.
Just to get those levels back up. Again, this isn't something that we say as a matter of course. It's a very personalized thing. So the double dosing, I commonly suggest if someone is training, you know, as hard as Jordan, but you don't need to do that all the time. It's, say if you've got a really intense, you know, boxing match or something coming up, and you are going to be really hammering your body, then up the dose for a couple of months. That's absolutely fine. Or you can leave the dose as it is, but just be aware you might notice that the skin becomes a little bit not as good as it was, because you're using up your collagen in a different area. It's your body's going to focus it more on the muscle, more on the joints, more on the bone.
Right.
So you can, but the levels will eventually come back up. It just takes longer. So the dosage regimes, it really depends on the individual, and we give bespoke guidance, but taking the 3 capsules a day will get you the results. Okay. If you're training like this, it's just going to take a longer time.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
So pregnancy, again, you know, a load of cells are going to the baby, so your collagen levels will reduce. However, we don't recommend you take Ingenious pregnancy or breastfeeding. Right.
Okay, because it's just not quite tested yet, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we have something called GRAS certification, so we are recognized as safe. Mm-hmm. However, I mean, I've taken the decision, so has David, who's a biochemist, that we don't want to introduce a foreign protein to anybody who's pregnant or breastfeeding, because you don't know how the baby would react, and I don't think it's ethical to them.
Fair enough. All right. Okie dokie. And then I'd say back to the next topic. Yeah. Okay.
So surgery and treatment. So this is interesting. Surgery, yes, that's going to put you under more stress, 100%. So you are going to burn up more collagen. Treatments, this is, so you have some treatments that will increase collagen levels, yes. However, those levels are going to dip as quickly as you see the results. So you may have a filler, that'll go in, it'll last a month, 2 months, and then those levels start dipping again. So you're not really upping those levels, they're going to keep declining. But this is the quick fix, which is the unfortunate, you know, state of our world at the moment. Everyone wants everything yesterday. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but some treatments, I think do work, like you know, your microneedling, the right type of fillers and so on. Mm-hmm. If you take that in conjunction with a decent collagen supplement, the effects of these will probably last longer.
Okay. So I find that really interesting because it is so popular now that we do these, you know, controlled injury treatments. Yeah. And yes, we do get results. But to be honest, as a writer, I've always worried about the long-term effects, because you are damaging, so you're taking away collagen in order to make more collagen. But the question then is, are you not just making up for what you've just lost? So you're saying yes, unless you supply more collagen production.
And also, I mean, a lot of treatments actually use collagen and hyaluronic in their their fill.
Yeah.
And those ones, yes, they'll give you a quick fix, and that may last a few months. But then you will see the decline, hence the retreatments and so on.
Yeah, fair enough. Very interesting. Yeah, that's quite a new one, but yeah, okay. So that's also an example of collagen burn.
Poor diet. This is classic with any any condition, not just your skin. So the alcohol will dehydrate if you're having vast amounts of odd beer or wine here and there, no issues. A lot of sugar. I mean, this is a classic one, because you'll get glycation. So your collagen fibers are supposed to be flexible. When you're having a load of sugar, you're getting cross-links put in.
Right.
Those cross-links make the collagen very, very rigid, and that leads them to be able to snap quite easily.
Yeah.
Hence the skin just looking not as good as it should.
Okay.
Here we go. The solution. There you go. The solution is here. So Ingenious, as I explained at the beginning, we're the only independent clinically proven collagen supplement. So if this space, food supplementation, was a regulated market like pharmaceuticals, which is how we've treated this, we would be the only company that would be allowed to function, because our product has actually been tested independently.
Okay.
The delivery system and everything we have is all patented. We're the only ones that can produce this. I think another key thing here is the 3 actives. So it's not just collagen peptides we have in there. We also have natural astaxanthin, which was that super antioxidant I mentioned, and hyaluronic acid complex. So the reason we've put hyaluronic acid complex is not just hyaluronic acid. So most supplements use a single length of hyaluronic acid. Your skin is made up of many, many different lengths. And what we've done here, we've got that replicated as much, as close as possible. So you've got varying lengths of hyaluronic acid, and that has led to our hyaluron actually being 20% more effective than the industry standard. Okay. Again, tested and proved.
Okay. Lots of stuff there. And there you
go. So here so I mean, the numbers, as I said, they speak for themselves. We could not adjust, affect, or do anything with these numbers. So 98% of 116 women aged from 35 to 60 showed a statistically significant improvement in the quality of their skin, and that was used. That was found out using dermatological clinical measures, and all this is in the open arena. Anyone can access our clinical trial, so it's all there for people to see.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go, and the before and after, which is quite stark. You can see that clearly.
Yeah. Yeah, you much more even, it's much more glowing as well.
Yeah, and also these photos are Visia camera. Yeah. Also, the candidate has to be in a special room, which is at a certain moisture level, a certain lighting, and everything else. So it's exactly the same. People, can say Photoshop this and that. No, this is done in a certified lab.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And then you've got a vegan version as well. Actually, before I get to the questions in the chat, I'm sure we don't have to look at that. I'm sure beautiful supplements, but but there is a vegan version. This is interesting because a lot of brands talk about a vegan collagen, but there is no collagen in the plant world, so that's really confusing. So tell me about your vegan collagen.
Sorry, my camera's going really light and dark all the time. Sorry. So there's no such thing as vegan collagen. There is the collagen peptide does not exist in the plant genome.
Right.
What you'll find with other brands is that they're giving you a load of amino acids, which are the building blocks for any protein.
Yes.
And they're using maybe the same amino acids that you do find in collagen. And because of that, they're naming it vegan collagen. No such thing. What we've done is found a root extract, again, clinically tested and proven to stimulate collagen production and hyaluronic acid production.
And that's not vitamin C, because, you know, up until now, people talk about vitamin C doing that, but this is something else, right?
No, this is something, yeah, something called astrium. It's a plant extract, a root extract, which is found to stimulate collagen and hyaluron production.
Okay.
Vit C is very useful as well, though. Vit C does help with collagen laydown. So it's a useful supplement for sure.
Okay. Something else.
And zinc.
And zinc. Okay. That. Now, I've got some very specific questions actually, which I like. So Jordan is asking why the exact doses, because you've got very specific doses. She quotes them as 627 milligrams of marine collagen, 4 milligrams of astaxanthin. That's very specific.
So, okay, the astaxanthin and hyaluron dose, we use that based on the research on astaxanthin and hyaluron. The collagen, the collagen dose, David and I figured that out ourselves. And the reason that dose is what it is it's going to be really odd to say this, but we took a really educated, it wasn't even a guess. We actually figured out, right, if we protect the collagen, we reckon this is going to happen. So we hypothesized what we thought the correct dose would be.
Right.
And it was only when we had the clinical trial done that we could actually say, yeah, we were bang on the money. That is the right dose. So that's how that came about. So the hyaluron and the Asta dose, that's specific because we researched all the papers and we found that the dose that we've put in is specific for the skin.
Okay.
So that's going to give you the best bang for your buck for the skin.
Okay, then that goes back, we're going back to that 10,000 milligrams or 10 grams of marine collagen. And it's Jordan again. She's got lots of questions, but lots of good ones. She was taking Ingenious, before Ingenious collagen. She used it, she believed it helped her with recovery, but now there are liquid collagen supplements on the market. Oh, that almost helped your camera. On the market that claim they have 10,000 milligram marine collagen. So this confuses me, as they claim you're getting 10,000 milligrams marine collagen in a liquid supplement. Please help me navigate this.
Yes, 100%. This is one of David loves this question. He absolutely loves it. So collagen's a protein.
Okay.
The collagen peptide, again, let's go back to basics. So any protein that you have, when you say, if you have a steak or some chicken, as soon as it hits your stomach, or in fact, as soon as it gets into your mouth, you have protease enzymes which begin a breakdown process, which is a good thing. That's what your body should do. It should break down long proteins into smaller chunks and then into amino acids, which you actually absorb. So collagen, say if you had 10 grams of a liquid collagen, you're getting 10 grams of collagen peptides. So collagen itself as a molecule, you cannot absorb it. It's massive. So a collagen peptide is a small chunk of that massive collagen molecule, which you can absorb. So if you're having 10 grams of collagen peptides in a liquid, as soon as you swallow that, as soon as it's in your mouth, as soon as it starts working its way down into your digestive into the stomach, protease enzymes will start the breakdown process. Digestion will start to happen. As that travels down further and further down your digestive tract, the amount of collagen you're going to absorb is going to be questionable. I'm not saying you're not going to get any. However, you're not going to get a consistent dose because you're not going to know how much is being absorbed or how much is being destroyed into amino acids. Again, amino acids, they're useful, but they're not going to help you stimulate further collagen production. It just doesn't happen.
Fair enough.
So if you're taking 10 grams of collagen, fine, you might get some absorption. You may even see some results. However, the dosage that you're getting will never be consistent because it would have to be protected for it to get through the stomach, to get to the small intestine, for it to be absorbed, for you to get that consistent dose.
So you're getting the dose, but only as far as when you swallow, and then
you'll swallow it. You may get some
getting
through.
it. Yeah.
You might get some through. However, you're not going to know how much is being absorbed, if any. And you will never truly know if it's having an effect, because you won't be able to quantify the amount that's getting into your bloodstream unless you test your blood every day, which is.
But the difference with your capsules is that they cannot, you have proven that they don't get digested, right, until
Yes.
they get to the place
Until they hit the
small intestine.
Yes.
Right.
So what we've done,
that's the point of difference.
Absolutely. So it's a real key difference. We're the only protected collagen. So we've got the collagen peptides, which again have to be a right molecular weight. So 2,000 Daltons or less. That's a key measure.
That's tiny, right?
That's tiny, 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 tiny. Dalton weight is a molecular measure.
Okay.
And they have to be 2,000 or less for them to get through the intestinal wall. However, first they need to reach the small intestine. And the only way they're going to do that is by being able to survive in the stomach acid.
Right.
So we've got a unique plant cellulose capsule designed to our spec that remains intact in the stomach, travels to the small intestine, and because as you travel down your digestive tract, the environment becomes less acidic. So that less acidic environment triggers a change in the capsule shell, and that allows it to break down along your small intestine, giving you a consistent absorption and consistent dose. No liquid, powder, or other tablet or capsule can say that.
No, that's it. Okay, so it's like a vessel in space that slowly disintegrates.
Absolutely, but in the right place.
Right, in the right place. Okay. That's cool. Should do a visual of that. See how that happens. Okay, and that really is the point of difference, and that's, as I keep saying, I don't hear that anywhere else. So that makes it interesting to me, at least. There is another question here from Lauren. She says, if I take this supplement, would I continue my normal daily vitamin supplement or stop taking them? I think it's pretty safe to take
carry
them.
on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have no known interactions. We have something called GRAS certification, which means we are generally recognized as safe.
Okay.
And yeah, you should have no issues unless you have an allergy to fish or something like that, but you should have no issues.
Of course, and probably good. I mean, if you take a lot of extra vitamin C or something on top of it, that would just
it'll probably benefit you. I mean, I'm also a very big believer in vitamin D generally. I mean, all of us are probably deficient, so just taking a good vitamin D every day makes a huge difference to your overall well-being, not just your skin.
Okay.
And a good couple of supplements, like I mentioned before, for your collagen laydown would be vitamin C and zinc.
Okay.
I'd recommend, either taking those or, increase the amount of those supplements in your diet, so citrus and blueberries, that sort of thing. And I think Brazil nuts are high in zinc, I think.
Why blueberries? Just because of the vitamin C?
Vitamin C and antioxidant effects. So dark skin berries and dark green leafy veg.
Yep.
They are brilliant for you. The antioxidants in there are just incredible. They just mop up all the bad oxygen floating around the body.
Okay, cool. Jordan again, more questions. This is okay. Taking bovine or marine, that's interesting as well. I don't really know if there's any difference. We could go into that. And then in coffee or tea, so many collagen brands in tea and coffee. I think you just end up taking even less than you should, because you can put that much collagen, because it's quite slimy as well. Or is it just me? Every time I have a collagen liquid, it's slimy. What's with this coffee?
So with the coffee thing, I'm not a believer. If you imagine, and this is my view, and we've seen papers and what have you to show this as well. If you're going to heat up collagen or heat up a protein, it's going to break down. It's like when you're cooking meat. It's going to start off soft, and then when you heat it up, and then eventually it will break down. You're denaturing proteins. If you imagine your skin is made up of collagen proteins.
Yeah.
If you're going to pour for example, boiling water on your hand, the collagen there is going to start degrading,
Yeah.
denaturing.
Yeah.
So why would you do that to a collagen peptide supplement? There's going to be lots of brands out there that will say, no, you're not saying it right. It's not the case. I mean, it's quite basic. If you're going to heat up a protein, you're going to denature it.
Yeah.
If you're putting collagen into coffee, the amount you're going to have to put in there for you to get any level of absorption is probably going to have to be 3 or 4 times your 10 grams, 30 or 40 grams of collagen peptide. And who in their right mind would do that?
You have a little pile of collagen.
Yeah, you'll have a mound of powder
coffee
at the bottom of your coffee mug. Yeah.
And
it doesn't make sense.
No, and that's interesting because I remember thinking that at the very beginning when I started hearing about that, but then there was so much for your coffee. I thought, well, it must be the right thing to do. By the way, Jordan is a he. Sorry, Jordan. I just assumed. I shouldn't have assumed. And the last question by Jordan about bovine versus a fish. So cow collagen versus fish collagen. Any difference?
Yeah, I mean, from our research, we found marine collagen just to be a much better quality. And nowadays, you've got a lot of brands touting that they've got, organic, grass-fed beef and bovine collagen. Mm-hmm. What we found when you're getting bovine collagen, it's actually a byproduct of the meat industry. For us,
but isn't fish collagen? I know you have a different sourcing.
Yeah, I free swimming tilapia fish in deep water. Again, not a byproduct as such, but here you're getting the in the bovine case, you're probably getting a lot of waste product and then the extraction process. It's just far cleaner using marine. And we found, although it sounds very odd, the marine collagen peptide, and remember that's a smaller chunk of collagen, right, was closer to your human peptide than using a small chunk of bovine. Again, you're going to find bovine brands saying that I'm saying that's it's wrong or whatever. But again, this is from the science and research that we do, and we are all scientists. That's all we do. We research and make sure that everything we're saying is right.
And so there isn't, because I have read and I have seen some experts say that bovine for some reason is more, people always say that fish is closer to humans, but people say bovine is more absorbable by the body than fish collagen. You don't agree with that?
Unless you're protecting the collagen peptide,
right,
how much you're going to absorb is questionable.
Yeah, back to that.
Again, is back to that. That's straightforward. If you want to have like just a collagen powder or a collagen liquid even, you may as well just go and have a piece of chicken or a steak. That's my view. Fair
enough. That brings me to one of my questions. Shouldn't you what's wrong with just eating lots of steak and chicken and eggs or pulses if you're vegan? Obviously, health advice generally is get your nutrition from food and don't get from supplements. So if you were to be really good and just eat really loads of really high quality protein, would that not in the end be I know you're not getting the collagen peptides, you're getting the amino acids, but wouldn't that not be an equivalent thing? Or
no, so let's I can explain our hypothesis actually.
Yeah.
So our thoughts when we first did this was that if you absorb the collagen peptide, that gets into the bloodstream. Seeing the peptide, your body will sense, okay, we have collagen degradation going on somewhere, and that kicks your own cells called fibroblast into play to produce more collagen.
Yeah.
If you're just giving amino acids, your body's not going to think anything's going on. So that was our hypothesis. So if you can get a collagen peptide into the bloodstream, that stimulates your own cells to produce more collagen. And that we've proven with our clinical trial.
Yeah.
So just having a high protein diet isn't enough. A high protein diet is good if you're having the right amount and what have you. It's not going to make a huge difference to your collagen levels.
Would you, though, if you don't want to take supplements and you want to eat the best way for your skin, you have said high protein is very important, but also those green leafy vegetables and dark skin.
Absolutely, berries, yeah.
combining those together is very important, right?
Yes, but not juicing. This is another misconception. Everyone thinks that, whack everything in a NutriBullet or what have you, drink this green stuff and you'll be the healthiest you're ever going to be. When you do that, you're breaking down all of the cell walls in the berries, the veg and everything, and you're releasing all the sugars.
Yeah.
So you may as well go and have a fizzy drink. You're better off having the fruit as it is, and then you get delayed release of those carbohydrates.
The delayed release is quite important generally, isn't it? That you don't spike and then drop in. Okay.
I mean, if you're training and you're at the gym or martial arts and what have you, if you need like a boost, then have some quick sugars there ready, because you're going to burn them up almost straight away.
Yeah.
However, if you're just having it as a matter of course or for breakfast, you're going to have a huge sugar spike and then a crash.
Okay, good advice. And is there any point, if you're in your 20s when collagen production is high anyway, people will say, oh, why don't you start early on? I mean, is there any point to take collagen supplements in your 20s? And do you believe in collagen banking, which is this idea of, if I just build up loads and loads of collagen throughout my life, then I'll have lots to kind of use in the bank when I get older, although I'm not sure whether body actually works that way.
Collagen banking, I'm not sure, but I do agree prevention is better than cure.
Okay.
So if you do start sooner, and we're finding this a lot in Japan, and Japan were the pioneers when it came to collagen. Younger demographic, in fact, in China now as well, from the research that we've seen, the younger demographic there, and you're talking, early 20s, have started taking collagen out there. So, okay. Again, my view as well as a pharmacist is prevention is always better than cure.
Okay. Yeah. But from how, I mean, literally in your 20s, would you, because you're literally making so much then.
It depends on the psyche of the
unless you're a top athlete, I would say, or
unless you're doing crazy things, then like loads of exercise and this, that, and the other, fine. But again, it's also the psyche of the individual, because in Japan and China, they're looking at this much more closely and thinking, right, we want our skin to look the same as it does when we're 20. So they do start earlier.
Fair enough. So, okay. But you can't go wrong taking them young, but I would say maybe it's comparable to skincare, where we always say start using your retinols maybe at 35 or something. I mean, you can use them earlier, but that's when things start dropping off, and that's when you might want to. And then obviously we're talking about normal amounts of Ingenious, right? And you don't always have to double dose.
No, not at all. Just your normal dose. Any dose variations we do on an individual basis.
Fair enough. And then maybe in the future you can. Do you get questions already, kind of personal questions, where people say, how much should I take? Is that
yes, all the time. All the time. I want a result really fast. Should I take 4 times a day? No, it's fine. Just be patient. Consistency and patience is key with this product.
Oh, that's the other thing. How long should you wait until you can expect results? Because people do expect it after 2 weeks.
I mean, you'll be really, really lucky if you see it after 2 weeks.
Right. Okay.
3 months is the minimum, I say, and that was the duration of our clinical trial.
Yeah.
We've had some clients being on it for 9 months before they notice a difference.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, month 10, bam, something's happened.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So you can get a switch suddenly, which is different for everybody.
Yeah, all of a sudden they'll. I mean, it sounds really odd, but one of the measures that I ask a lot of clients is when they're washing their face, does it feel bouncy? And they say, oh, well, actually, no, not yet. So okay, and then we speak to them in a few months, and then they've got that bounce, and they're, well, you know what you said, that was right. That actually happened. I was washing my face and it felt bouncy. So we're like, okay, so that's Pupinder's bounce check to make sure that
I might have to use that for everything. I've had some micro needling, and my face bouncy when I wash it. Really good. That's so interesting. Well, I think we could go on for a while, but pretty much run out of time. So I'm going to have to, let me see. Let me just check. Oh, what happened? Oh, no, suddenly I've got more questions. Okay, interesting. What happens if one has a condition like sensitive intestines, leaky intestines, Crohn's disease? That's interesting.
So you're going to have trouble absorbing anything with those conditions anyway. And in that circumstance, yeah, I would actually probably get involved or get one of our other pharmacists involved, and we'd go through all the therapy for that client and see what the best approach would be.
Okay. There's another question here. Doesn't the body only store fat for energy? As in, didn't think you can store anything else. What do you say about that? Were we talking about actually storing? I think you might have said we don't actually store. Do we store collagen? No. When you say collagen is better than cure.
No, yeah, I mean, that's right. Your body only stores fat for energy. You can't really store much else. And I don't remember saying anything about storing anything else.
No, I think it's slightly confusing. Saying prevention is better than cure is kind of constantly keeping, do you mean keeping your collagen levels topped up as you go?
Oh, yes, yes, sorry.
Actually storing for the future, because that would be collagen banking, which...
I don't think collagen banking happens. But if you do supplement sooner, levels are probably going to take longer to decline.
Right.
I hope that's clear.
Yeah. No, that's interesting, because then that's interesting about this.
How does dosing affect kidneys? It's a protein after all. Okay. I mean, well, if you imagine the amount of protein you're getting, 627 milligrams, less than a gram. You're going to eat more than that. You're going to have more protein than that having a chicken nugget, to be honest.
Okay.
So,
So that maybe answers, this is Clock's last question. How does dosing affect kidneys? It's protein after all.
Yeah, so as I said, again, the amount of protein is less than a gram in the normal dose. Even if you took 4 times the dose, you're still going to be having about 2 to 3 grams of protein, which isn't going to do anything to your kidneys.
And it's
unless you have a kidney problem, unless you do have
fair enough.
Insufficiency, then that could be an issue where you need to monitor your protein levels.
It's going back to the supplement not overloading you with protein. It's giving you the right dose of collagen peptides, which are ferried to the right place and don't get digested.
Yeah. I mean, you still will get excretion through your kidneys. But the amount of protein that you're taking in, because collagen peptides are, again, a protein anyway, the amount you're going to be having is less than a gram, just over half a gram. So it's not going to harm your kidneys unless you do have some sort of renal issue.
Okay, fair enough. Those are some very, very pertinent questions there that I hadn't thought of. Thank you. So I think we've come to the end of those questions. I just want to remind everybody that if that was a bit much in terms of information, don't worry, because we will send you a recording so you can review everything Pupinder said. It's quite scientific, but I like that. And I think I've learned a lot. I hope you've learned a lot. If all this has whetted your appetite, as you know, we're doing these every week. Next week, we're doing a facial-a-thon with Lisa Goldfaden of Goldfaden MD. You're going to learn how to do a brilliant glow-giving facial, and you're going to get, if you sign up for the a masterclass, you're going to get £100, a mere £100 worth of a goodie bag put together by a dermatologist full of Goldfaden products. I will put a link here right now if you're interested in that. And then, well, I'm going to have to say goodbye, I think, Pupinder.
Okay.
Let's not make it another 5 years.
No, we won't.
And I'm off to double dose because God knows I need it, but then I'm old and I'm not 20 years old. So, but thank you so much. That was so interesting.
Awesome.
As always. And I hope everybody enjoyed that, and maybe, pick up the last few rays out there on the warm summer night. Of course, with your SPF on, although you might not need it. It's evening, isn't it? But yeah, thank you so much, and
thank you.
And keep us posted on everything that's happening.
Yeah, and if anyone needs any help, they're welcome to contact us directly as well. No.
I think all the details are here. Yeah, there's lots in the chat. So yes, you can get in touch with the brand and do pick them up on that money off a good kind of dosage of Ingenious, and try it, see what happens. You'll probably like what you see. So thank you very much, Pupinder.
Thank you.
And I'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.